Now changing how often you pay your employees. The best time to change frequency of paying an employee is at the beginning of the new tax year. Okay, that I said. And before you start to process pay. Okay, that will be the best time. If you change it during the tax year, then make sure that the first pay run after changing the pay cycle must not overlap. Okay, like we discussed about that overlapping in the same month or week, there is a two payroll. The final pay run in the old pay cycle. Okay. If you want to change your pay cycle during fiscal year, keep in mind that you can only switch between a weekly or a monthly calendar if you're changing in between in the financial year. It is not possible to switch to or from a week 4 weekly to 2 weekly pay cycle until the new tax year begins. Okay. In the new tax year begins, you can change any frequency. That is fine. Okay. But in middle, you can just change weekly to monthly, monthly to weekly. That's all. Now changing from weekly to monthly. You want to convert an employee from weekly to monthly pay and have their first monthly wage to be paid in August. Okay, now what will be important? Now you are paying employees weekly. Okay, how weekly cycle works? From April, you will start first week. Okay, till August, what you can do? Till August, we just take example. Okay, exactly, you may find little difference. So let's start from 6th April. Okay, so 12th will be 1 week. Can you see my calendar? So 6 to 12th is 1 week. Okay, then 19 is second week, 26 is third week. Okay. 4th week, 5th week, 6th week, 7th week, 8th week. 9th week, 10th week, 11th week, 12th week, 13th week. 14th week, 15th week, 16th week, 17th week. Okay, so this will be the complete weekly cycle. Now, the next cycle goes into 2nd August. You see this? Okay, and you need to change from August to monthly. So what you will do? You will not pay this cycle, right? Otherwise, there will be 2 cycle again, right? Second will be weekly, and then you want to change it to monthly, then monthly also there will be a cycle. There will be equation. Okay, so this is 18th week, right? So last week for your weekly payroll will be 17th. So week 17 is the final weekly payroll you should complete. Tax month 5, then you have to jump to tax month 5. Week 17 was last, then tax month 5. You must not process any weekly payrolls 6th August to 5th September. So in this situation, what it says from 6th August. So here we can still run the 18 because if you are taking 6th August, so it will complete on 2nd. You see this? 2nd. So 6th will start from 6th to 6th. Sorry, 6th to 5th will be a new monthly cycle. If you're doing 1st to 31st, then you should not process this one. Similarly, if you process the employees weekly pay in tax month 5 by mistake, you should continue to process their weekly pay until 21. Why? Because then you can change only in September. Okay. For example, by mistake, you have paid 2nd. So now continue 18, 19, 20, 21, and 20. Then you have to change monthly in September only now. Okay. That is something you have to. So this is the cycle. This is the explanation, a table where it shows the last weekly payroll to process on the old pay cycle. Okay, the last weekly payroll you can process if you want to change frequency to monthly. So what is first monthly payment? If you want to change it to April, that's first payment. So 53 week will be last, right? 52 will be the last year's week, and then one more extra week. Okay. Then month 2, if you want to change, week 4 will be last. That is 3rd May. Okay, then 6th May, you can change monthly payroll. Okay, if you're doing June as monthly payroll, so week 8 will be last. That is 30th, 31st May. This is considering previous year. So this year, the dates may change. Okay, this way you have to work on your dates every year. Whenever you change the cycle in that year, you have to check the dates. Okay, similarly, if you want to change month 5, August, then week 17 will be the final weekly payroll. And September 21st will be the final weekly payroll. This way, full 12 months is given. If you want to read out, I'll just take a pause here. Now, reverse. If you want to change from monthly to weekly, then For example, you want to start first weekly payment from week 6. Okay, that is May. Then you should complete April payroll, monthly payroll. Then you can convert to weekly payroll. That is 11th May. Then if you want to change from week 10, that is June, you can start only from week 10. So month May should be completed. Okay, and then from 8th June you can start. Because till 5th, we'll consider that May payroll, right? 6th May to 5th June will be monthly cycle. Okay, normally we'll take 6th to 5th only as an example. If it was 1st to 31st May, then you could have started the first week also, like 9th week. When what I have seen mainly, there could be a business decision wherein the company has been acquired by some other company and they are merging. Okay, at that time it happens. Okay, otherwise it happens when there is a decision from management. Okay, for any reason it could be like we need to change now from monthly to weekly due to employee request or due to some other reason. Okay, mainly it happens during mergers or changes in company, that then only it will happen. Otherwise, no one changes normally. Like in Romania, I'll tell you why we changed it. Okay, so in Romania, we changed it because there was a extra cycle. Because in Romania, it is very strict. So in Romania, if you miss some payment in a month, okay, government take an action. The employee can complain, okay, that you have missed overtime for previous month. So what you have to do after completing the November payroll, again you have to keep one more payroll, okay, just to check if you have missed any payment. Okay, and you have to process in between within November off cycle payroll, extra payroll. So to mitigate that, we change from 15th pay date to 25th pay date so that we get more time, so that we are not missing anything. Okay, so that was one situation. Okay, in UK we changed because there was a merger, so we have to apply the pay date of a new company. Okay, so like the one who has acquired, they wanted to bring all the payroll in together. Okay, so these two situations I can tell you, and there were multiple other situations, but most of the time it was merger, a merger and acquisition. That's the reason. I have seen most of the time we had that situation wherein there was a more gap between the period, because like if you decide sudden, then there could be a problem of overlapping. So I've always seen a planned situation, okay, wherein we have changed it very in an organized way. Okay, and there was a gap. So for covering that gap, some standard amount was paid to the employee. Like in Romania, what we did, we paid 50% of the employee's salary. Whoever had, like, we consider their net payment. What was the net payment previous cycle or base pay? Okay, we paid net pay of that. Okay, that is 50%. So this way you can do it. And we have to inform employee, that is HR will do it for you using basic pay tools. I told you there will be a screen which will be like from the HMRC login. This is the screen. Okay, so when we log in into HMRC portal, or online portal, not the software, okay, which is given by HMRC. So you can also download a software for this. You can access that software application kind of in your laptop. Okay, or else you can go through a web link also. When you log in, okay, you get this kind of home page wherein right inside, if you see home, then calculators are there, like tax calculator, NI calculator, maternity. Okay, you'll find those kind of calculators and some more options of help and settings. Okay, then on the left hand side you see employer. Okay, employer list you can see. I told you there could be multiple employers in your company, okay, or in your client list. So you can access those. Normally this is company's login, okay, not the client. I mean, not the agent login. It is always company login. So there are multiple employers in that company. Okay, so they can set up new entities. So they have set up uh, multiple entities in one organization. Like, for example, the Tata Group. Okay, Tata Group may have multiple companies like TCS, or they can have Tata Motors, Electrics. Okay, so here you see Andyman again with one more, and these are different employers. And right hand side, if you see 123 slash, this is the pay reference number. They have registered with multiple pay numbers. You see this? So they have added their employer in the one login detail only. Okay. So whenever you want to do some work for a single employer, you have to select that employer. Okay. For example, you want to select handyman, you can select, and then you'll get more options. Okay. So next screen we'll see that. Okay. So this is download and install BPT onto your computer. Okay. So basic pay tool. This is called as. So BPT you can install on your computer. You'll find useful links at the top of the screen, such as home, calculus, I've explained you. On the left, you'll find the employer list, which includes the name of your employer, backing up your data. Okay, you see this option, back up your data, restore your data. So this is also the option they will give you, and providing your feedback. Okay, so there will be a feedback screen. It is not appearing here. Okay, you'll see that as well. You see on the right side, add an employer. You can add your employer here. Now go to the employer details screen by selecting the employer link. So for example, you select our employer as handyman, second one, you see this name is there. You come to know which employer you've selected. Then if you want to change employer, you can click on change employer and you can switch to another one. So this is the employer. Okay, you have selected. So you'll see all the details for this employer. Okay, handyman. Tax year 2021, 22. Then you'll see all the previous years also. If you select that relevant year, you can see the documentation of that year. Okay, for example, what was the submission, how much submissions you have done. If you want to see the FPS submission, okay, you can go and check each year. So currently it is 21, 22 selected. Okay, so you see this Ember option. You have not indicated whether you are eligible and want to claim employment allowance for this year. Follow the employment allowance link in the menu. If you are not sure, then keep it as it is. If you want to take one more month and report it next month, that is fine. Okay, so you can claim a total 5,000 in a year. Okay, you can break it down also like 2,000, 3,000. You can get this way also. Okay, it depends how HMRC gives you the benefit. Okay. So left hand side, if you see manage employees, you can manage employees means you can change some data of the employee that you've submitted through here also. But you send it through FPS as well. That is better. Calculate amount due to HMRC. Okay, if you want to see the amount due to HMRC, you just want to calculate, you can use this option to check. Okay, then because there are main options that is not changed yet. Okay, you see all the options are valid. Okay, so because it is not only India, Evan, but in UK also it happens that there are outdated tools government uses, like they do not change multiple times. So it is possible, but it happens in UK also. That's the reason you should not wait on last day to submit FPS or EPS. Okay? Or make the payment also. Even if you're making payment, do not wait to the last day. So you'll see all the options, calculate amount due to HMRC, employer payment summary and recoverable amount that you have submitted. Okay, so you can see this periods with no payments to employees. You remember that you report in EPS. So the dates will reflect here also that HMRC will update. Final submission of tax year. Okay, you can see that final submission of tax year. P60 forms, you can see. Employment allowance. Okay. Then employment allowance, the option that we are seeing the pop-up. Okay, that you can see it here. View outstanding submissions. You can also see how many submissions are still outstanding. Okay, it could be in a month that there are weekly payrolls, so there are 3 pending. It could be months also, right? Or it could be possible they are doing quarterly also. Okay, so you can see this. Then on hold submissions. Then you can see successful submissions. How many are there? You can go inside and check. View failed submissions also. You can see. So like you mentioned about PF, it was not going through. So you can see that in failed. So you come to know it has been failed. Now you have to submit it again. Your expired submissions. Then pays. I have not used expired submissions yet because I have never seen any options there, but it is there. Okay. Team seized. which means you have stopped any of the employer, or if you have stopped this employer, you can see this pay scheme ceased. Okay, so you get the date when you seized it. Record of funding. You know what is funding? I told you. Did I explain you? Funding you can get from HMRC, so you can see that funding. So if you want to make statutory payments, and you can take advance funding from HMRC, or for any other reason also you can take. This is again explain the same thing that I told you. Each options on the left side. So the first option that we've seen, employee details. Okay, what all you can access. Select manage employees from the employee details screen at the top left of the screen, which will bring you to the manage employees screen. The left hand menu contains links to the tasks that you may need to complete. Okay, you'll get 3 options after selecting add an employee option. Ideally, it could be used for third-party payments. Okay, so now new and current maximum employees fall into this category. Okay, whenever you add them, these are new and current employees. Okay, you can add or you can amend details for the employee. Non-individual, but it is not recommended normally. Non-individual, this option is used to pay a third party on behalf of instead of the employee. Okay, if this is this option needs to be set up. Okay, this is an option which is available, but ideally people do not use this option from HMRC project. So it could be like if employee has requested to pay someone on employee's behalf, you can add that person. Trivial commutation payment. What is this now? There are various rates under this category. For the trivial commutation lump sum option, the maximum amount is pound 30,000. Okay, so what is this now? There will be a small pension options, okay, where you can contribute maximum 30,000 in a year, okay, in a pot. For the small pot from a personal pension scheme options, there are maximum 3 small pension funds of pound 10,000 or less to be paid out as a lump sum. Okay, there is no limit to the number of lump sum up to pound 10,000. Okay, that can be paid out under the small pot lump sum from occupational pensions option. Okay, so what happens? Do you remember I told you when any employee gets a bonus, they can ask you that, can you put this 10,000 bonus into my pension scheme? Okay, that is called trivial commutation. Okay, so employee can do this three installments also, or if it is a lesser amount, then they can do multiple. Okay, but maximum 10,000 thrice. Reporting FPS. Do we have option in India? Like, can we put in PF additional amount? No, right? If you're putting less months, like 6 months in FD or RD, then they give you less interest. Even if you put it for more time period, then they give you good amount of. Mainly private banks are giving good rates. Government banks are still giving lesser rates. Now reporting FPS. Select the year and the month for which you want to deduct from your employee's pay. Select the employee and the date from the list shown on the employee payment screen to make the changes. Okay, select amend. This is when you select the manage employees. Okay, you can do these changes. Correct information and submit as usual. BPT will then submit a revised month 12 FPS with the corrected year to date figures for that employee. Okay, but ideally it is not recommended. You can do it from FPS from your software. Who can use this? Who is handling a small payroll? Okay, who have less than 10 employees and they are dependent on BPT, because if you are doing payroll of less than 10 employees, then you can use free software of HMRC. That time they can use this. Paying your employees more often. If you haven't paid your employees, enter the new earnings period. Okay, in the pay frequency field in your FPS when you next pay them. Okay, so if you haven't yet paid your employees, enter the new earnings period in the pay frequency field. If you have already paid your employees, you can start using the new earnings period from the following text bar.